Welcome everybody, my name is KaiKai3212, and you see this mascot? This is the face of Disney, as he is by far the biggest flagship of them all. But did you know he was added into Twisted Wonderland? Well, obviously you've seen the logo, and you would only imagine nothing but Disney villains. Well, you may be right and wrong, because being a Disney game, they would somehow add the rodent himself to this game, as well as we will go over why he was added for story purposes, and theories about it, and how it could change Twisted Wonderland forever as a whole. So with that out of the way, let's see how Mickey Mouse himself was seen in this mobile game. Also, see if you can spot any hidden Mickeys throughout, and tell me how many you found, just for show. So for starters, why was he added into the game? Well, my thoughts would say that Mickey would actually be appearing like us, given the fact that the room in Ramshackle does actually appear like in the 1936 cartoon through the mirror. If we were to ignore that, his appearance is based off of that, but to my surprise, it would be the epic Mickey look, as both of them are similar in both 2D and 3D. With appearances itself, I think Disney and Aniplex made a deal with themselves, saying that if they want a Disney mobile game for Aniplex, they gotta leave one thing Disney related to be added, and they shocked us when it happened. In Book 5, he did name drop both his pals Goofy and Donald, but who else would they appear? Maybe Minnie, Daisy, Pluto, Pete, that one rodent who is Mickey's rival. The list goes on! Speaking of which, as early as Book 3, he was seen for a bit with nothing but an ominous voice, and later at the end of Book 4, we hear it again, and this time with a silhouette of him. This makes me go crazy, all because, as a Disney fan, I am a Mickey Mouse fanboy. Later in Book 5, it would mark his appearance, and earlier he did say he would like to enter Twisted Wonderland, but that would ruin the surprise that would come into play when it happens. He never knew who anyone else in Sage's Island was, and the only interaction we got was with Grimm in Book 7. He told us to never give up after all their darkest hour throughout the story. He shows us how we can be like him, and in most of the SR/SSR cards, he is almost everywhere because of the hidden Mickeys, which makes you wonder a bit about him, but that's another story for another time. For events, Portfest is a good example, as most of his many stories being part of Twisted Wonderland's lore. While the event story is kinda a recreation of Steamboat Willie, it is similar, and at the end, we see Jack and his friends peeling some potatoes, which is a whole nod to the classic first ever Mickey short he was in. Beanfest also takes the spotlight, given the fact that in Mickey and the Beanstalk is basically a retelling of Jack and the Beanstalk. Cruel mentions some parts of the story about him, but never mentions his name at all. Events like these, where they mention Mickey, is very rare to have in this game, but that's interesting enough. Now, my other theory about Mickey Mouse is that, what if Mickey Mouse was actually somehow related to Ambrose the 63rd, who was the head mage of RSA? To my knowledge, he only made one appearance in Book 5, towards the end of it. And to my surprise, I would think if Mickey somehow had a connection between them, then maybe, because that would be the turning point to how we see him in the mirror. Lastly, there is no way Mickey Mouse would actually be the villain overall, and would somewhat say that he can actually be a fake blot. Would he? That's for you to decide if Mickey is one of the Phantom Blots, or Block Phantoms. Sorry, I got those names mixed up. Naturally, I could go on about Mickey Mouse disappearing a lot, but ever since Book 7, before Overblot Malleus appears, Ortho actually is the only person that should know more about Mickey Mouse. But Silver did see Mickey in his own dreams even before Book 7, most likely in Book 6, where Mickey mentions a silver-haired boy. And that's literally Silver. So it's safe to say that if the two met Mickey before the main character, then my theory would say that he would have asked them about entering Twisted Wonderland, and would change the impact of Book 7 as a whole. Call me biased or anything like that, but it would be cool to see Mickey differently, even if he's an SSR like the others I truly want. Now, even though Operation Mouse Chat was short-lived back in Book 7, he at least talked in detail about the plot of Through the Mirror, and he would still think this is all entirely a dream, that we are in it. So tell me this overall, what would happen if Mickey actually did get teased in the prologue of Twisted Wonderland, and would also be mentioned from Book 1 until Book 7 as normal? Well, that's a theory you should all say about, considering the fact that I covered a bit in detail. And we now have come to the end. As mentioned before, if there are any questions about Mickey Mouse in general in the world of Twisted Wonderland, you are more than welcome to ask me if you want on Discord. My links will be in, well, up here if you want. But either way, with all that out of the way for reals this time, thank you for listening to my presentation. And see you real soon! I'm sorry, for real, I'll see you real soon. I'm sorry. I like doing the Mickey Mouse impression.